Hello everyone, my name is Emma Hassencahl-Perley and I am a Wolastoqew citizen from Neqotkuk, otherwise known as Tobique First Nation in New Brunswick. And the Wolastoqew are the people of the beautiful, bountiful Wolastoq River. I am a visual artist, primarily beadwork, wall murals, and digital illustration. I studied art at Mount Allison University from 2013 to 2017. And I'm also an art curator, which is a person who organizes art exhibitions in art galleries. But my visual art practice explores my identity as a Wolastoqew woman and community member through the visual and material culture of my nation, meaning beadwork designs and regalia, rock drawings, medicinal plants, and clan animals are things that inspire my work. And I'm here today with the Moose High campaign to do a drawing for you to follow along. And I've also turned that drawing into a coloring page. If you need more time on a certain step, please rewind the video and try it again. And I look forward to seeing what you create. So the first thing that I'm going to do is draw a center in the middle of the page. And I'll typically grab whatever I have on hand to trace a circle. And in this case, it's a spool of beading thread. And then I'm using the circle as a mark for where I'm going to start drawing the sweetgrass braid. And basically what I do is I start drawing a line that is curved inward a bit, and then I'll match it with another line that's curved outward. So basically outward on both sides and then connecting them into a point. And then I'll go in and add little rounded details on the sides to make it look like a braid. And I'm going to do this until the circle is complete. The end of the braid on the left side of the screen will have some braids exposed, and I mark those and also the wrap that ties the braid together. And then I head back up to the top of the circle and finish the braid. Drawing sweetgrass can be a little tricky because you have to pay attention to where lines are coming together and where they're ending. Sometimes I find it helps to look at drawings from other people of sweetgrass braids or braids on Google. Just to get an idea of what it's supposed to look like in the end. Once I've finished the braid and connected it to that front piece, I'm going to go ahead and start drawing some of the medicine in behind the braid. I'm going to go ahead and start drawing some of the medicine that's connected to the braid. And I'm starting at the top right with tobacco leaves. Tobacco leaves are rounded at the bottom and then they come to a point. And then I draw some of the little details in the center. And then on the opposite side of the braid, I'm going to add in tobacco leaves on the bottom left as well. Basically, I'm trying to create a symmetry for this work, and everything I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other. Right next to those tobacco leaves on the bottom left, I'm going to start drawing sage. And the sage leaves are similar to tobacco leaves, but they're a lot narrower, slimmer. It's almost like a quick hand motion. We'll bring those two curved lines together. I'm doing 4 on each side. Okay. And then I'm going to start drawing cedar leaves. And basically the only way that I know how to draw cedar is by drawing a bunch of lines that connect to each other. And I'm starting with the longer lines to form the thickness of the leaf, and then I'll go in and add a bunch of smaller lines on either side of the longer lines. You're going to hear me say lines a lot in this video as we're laying down the line work for this sketch. And then I'm going to go into my color process. Great, and now that I've done it on one side, I'm going to do it on the other. Sometimes it's easier for me to rotate the image because I get more of a balance that way. And I'm doing the same thing on this line. I'm drawing 5 long connected lines. Sorry, I'll draw about 8 lines that connect and then add in the smaller lines on either side. Cedar is probably my favorite medicine that I use, and that is a part of my life. It's considered to be a woman's medicine. It also represents protection. It's cleansing. And then I thought, since I braided the sweetgrass, that I would go ahead and add a few loose strands of blades. I would go ahead and add loose blades of grass all around the sides, because I'm looking to represent those 4 sacred medicines. Any time that I've been gifted medicine in my life, it usually comes from my grandmother. And then as I got older, I would get medicine from friends as gifts. Typically, you give medicine to greet an elder. You can also give it to show gratitude. And I'm also going to go ahead on the right side and add in 2 small strawberries, which are just basically 2 circles and then some jagged triangle shapes at the top to represent those leaves. I'll also be adding in more blades of grass that I'd like to add into my own work for embellishment. My grandmother's yard has every berry imaginable, and I always used to know when berries were in season because I could find them all in her yard. And I knew that typically strawberries came first, cherries, raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries came around the same time near the end of summer. I also wanted to add in plants that are important to my nation, which is the fiddlehead. I'm going to add in 2 fiddleheads on opposing sides. And those are 2 curvy lines that start from the center, work its way around a circle until the circle gets bigger, and then I drag it off of the page. I also typically add stars in my work. You'll see stars often in my work, as those for me represent the spirit world. And really the whole work is about being in balance with spirit, medicine, positive energy. And this is something that I'm trying to capture. But also give you the opportunity to let us know what is medicine for you. And since I'm trying to depict this balance, I want to draw the sun and the moon in the center. And so I'm going to grab a smaller circle, an object with a smaller circle, and in this case I'm using one of the containers that I keep beads in to trace that circle around in the middle. First in a pencil, and then I'll go in with a pen. And I'm going to draw the sun and the moon together, so I'm going to split that circle down the middle with one line. And then add some smaller lines on the left side, and that represents the sun. And then on the right side, I'm going to add in smaller circles that represent craters on the moon. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much for following along with me, and I cannot wait to see what you create and what you consider to be medicine in your own life, whether that's art, or sports, or music. And I also want to thank the Moosehead campaign for inviting me into this workshop. It's been a lot of fun to create this image for you. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add in the loose blades of grass that are at the end of the other side of the braid. And those just stick up from in behind. One thing that I forgot to do in this initial video is sign my name at the bottom. My mom, my dad, my grandparents always told me to sign my work, whether it was on the bottom of the page or in behind, and to date it as well, so that I could see my progress.